First off, I just want to say thank you so much for getting me out of having to do the kids' bedtime tonight. Second, I've just found out that my grandfather is taking Viagra. No one has taken it harder than my grandmother. That is right, I am Kelly Ford, face off Love Island. Body off Ice Road Truckers. I'm not saying that to be needy, I promise, right? But I tell you I do find needy, the self-service checkout machine. Thinly veiled in helpfulness and efficiency, but approval needed. Approval needed. And I find myself going, you look great. You're doing a really good job. Just give me the condoms. But they chat back, right? They chat back with unexpected item in the bagging area. None of us actually know which side the bagging area is. But I will give you this one for free tonight, Cav, and that is 8 onions weigh the same as an iPad. So crack on. Crack on. I didn't use any condoms over the lockdown, but I did give birth to my very own lockdown cliche, a banana bread. No, a kid, actually a kid. And I gave birth via the sunroof, right? Which means I've got a stunning overhang, actually, which is great because I've never lost my remote control. I thought I'd put on Airbnb as a staycation, actually, if anyone's interested. Hilly views. It's got a thatched roof. It's a bit sweaty in the summer, to be honest, but link at the end of the show. But the best part about having such a beautiful overhang is at the end of my set, when I run off the stage, if you guys don't clap, it will, so thank you. I've got another cellmate at home. Look at that, mummy. Look at that, mummy. Mummy, mummy. It's a leaf. What I'm trying to tell you guys is I live with a demented parrot. They say it takes a village to raise a child. I say it takes a vineyard. My husband comes in, he's like, fancy a cuddle? I'm like, cuddle? You got 2 minutes, 35 seconds before I'm asked for a snack again. I'll crack on if I was you. I spend a lot of my days just holding a small child's hand, walking around, looking for their sweets that I actually ate the night before. Oh, I know, where are they? That's a shame. Oh dear. Anyway, I have to do their homework now and I hate it. I hate it. I hate maths. She's like, Karen went to the shop. She got 3 bats for 20p and 4 carrots for 5p. And my only reply is, where the fuck is Karen shopping? Cost of living. Nothing says a financial crisis, does it, like a security tag on a baby bell? Anyway, it's not all bad being a parent, guys, not all bad being a parent. One person likes to call me a MILF. A mum I'd like to finger once a week in front of Strictly, so... Get it where you can, guys, get it where you can. Now, BC, before COVID, us women, we used to wear bras. Do you remember that? Mental, isn't it? Mental. And I've lived through a plague, right? I understand why the Renaissance paintings are just fat women lying around, tits out, covered in Pringles, reaching for your phone. And what do we want to do when we came out of that lockdown? Do we want to see friends and family? Want to go straight to the Blue and Yellow Castle. It's IKEA, Swedish for divorce. Spend a Saturday afternoon aggressively holding a pencil, going against the arrows like a wonky salmon. I want those napkin rings. And what is it with that stuff, right? In there, it looks great. Bring it home, it looks shit. And then at the end, you reward yourself, don't you, with a... You reward yourself with a... Meatball. Yeah, thank you very much, a meatball. Does anyone know what the meatballs are made out of? Yeah, good guess, meat. Love that. Well, I heard, right? I heard it was the people that just got stuck in rugs and lighting. They never made it out. Anyway, I'm going to leave the stage now with a face off Ice Road Truckers and a body off Love Island. Oi, oi!
Real estate, how's everyone doing? I'm doing all right. I was on the bus earlier, right? And I was just getting off, right? And I was walking down the stairs and I caught myself on that little CCTV monitor. You ever caught yourself on that? Just the back of your head. It's like I caught myself in a crime I hadn't committed yet. You know what I mean? Because from the back of the head, that is the most incriminating part of the body. Like from the back of the head, I am capable of anything. From the front, I'm a choir boy. That's tax fraud, and then that's genocide. You know what I mean? I'm a dictator. That's my impression of a dictator, by the way. I did go to drama school. I went in and was like, I'm going to be a star. And then I came out and was like, I'm going to be a barista. I'm going to make coffee. No, because there's a lot of diversity now in the acting world, which is great. Like there's a gay black man playing Doctor Who, which is great. Yeah, that's right. But like calling it like a win for diversity, which I don't really understand. Like a win for diversity would be like a gay black man playing James Bond, right? I mean, that'd be amazing, right? I mean, I wouldn't watch it. I'd be livid. But I'm just saying, I wish them all the best. No, because it's difficult for me as a posh white guy. Because, you know, like, it's hard. No, it is. Because, when I fail, right, I know it's me. Do you know what I mean? Because when other people fail, they've got reasons. Like sexism and racism and structural oppression. I've got none of that. Do you know how difficult that is for me, guys? That's waking up each morning knowing there's nothing stopping me from becoming a successful lawyer. You know what I mean? And yet I'm not. What's that about? Like, I can't work in a small business, right, without someone coming up to me and going, are you the owner? It's like, no, I'm just a white guy on minimum wage. Do you know what I mean? My dad is. But that's, no, I'm a progressive guy. I love period sex. No, I do. No, because a lot of guys don't like it, do they? Like, they don't like their blood. Like, I love it. No, I do. It reminds me of our fallen heroes. You know, I get really patriotic. Like, I was having period sex with this girl. She was like, sorry, I didn't make you come. I was like, hey, you did something far more valuable than that, right? You reminded me of Europe's post-war commitment to peace, right? Thank you for your service. No, I am actually a male feminist. Any other male feminists in the audience? Woo! That's good. That's tepid. But no, because it's quite difficult, right? Because I was talking to my sister the other day, right? And she opened up to me. She was like, you know, Al, I don't like my tits, right? And I'd never been in that situation before, so I just said, I think you've got great tits. And as soon as I said it, I was like, that sounds like I think I fancy you. But we had sex. No, we didn't. I looked it up. It is illegal. I can't fuck as well because I'm skinny, so I can only make love. Do you know what I mean? Because because like Pilates guy, you're probably like, I'm going to put you in a wheelchair. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to limit your quality of life, you bitch. I can't. Because when I do it, I'm like, I'm going to put you in an Uber. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to make sure you get home safely. You lovely woman. You can stay here if you like. No, it's fine. No, because in my head, I'm a daddy, right? But I think when women see me, they kind of see like famished World War II soldier. You know what I mean? Returning from the battlefield. She's going to nurse me back to full health. Suck away the PTSD. Ha! So that's my cum face as well. You've got to have a cum face, gentlemen. You have to. If you don't, because you'll get in awkward situations. Like I was having sex with a girl. She was like, "You're going to tell me when you're going to get a cum, right?" I was like, "You shit." That is going to be quite difficult unless you happen to be in possession of a time machine. How do you feel about becoming a single mum? No. No, because then you get really defensive because she's like, you didn't tell me you were going to come. And then you go, I did, like 20 seconds ago when I went, like that. It was so clear. I don't know. I'm a little bit messed up in the head, guys. My dad did leave me when I was young and then came back from work in the evening. Kind of middle class absent, physically present, emotionally closed off, but financially available. I'll leave you with this, guys. I don't have much relatable material. My most relatable period is when I was 18, right, and I had braces and Roaccutane, right? And does anyone know what like Roaccutane is? Like military grade acne medication, right? When the GP gave it to me, he was like, "This will definitely clear up your face, but it might make you want to kill yourself." And my mom was like, "That is a risk I'm willing to take." So that's good.
I'm 30 now. Thanks, black don't crack. Except for at the heel. That'll crack. I turned 30 and I decided I wanted to live my best life, live my boldest self. So I decided to wear more colour, grey. I also shaved my head and dyed it blonde. Upon doing this, thought it'd be more edgy, more fun. I've realised there are two types of people with this particular hair. There's me, and then there's 60-year-old black women. Yeah. I've also become very popular with the gays. Yes. I've become lesbian catnip in recent months. Now my body is, for want of a better word, fucked, because I have 2 children. Yeah. So, honey, if you're buying, I am supplying. Yeah. And my body is mostly fucked because I'm breastfeeding. So I've got 2 children. I've got a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. My 3-year-old's really big and beautiful. All the fat in her body has been redistributed to her attitude. It's quite fun. And I'm breastfeeding my son. I'm doing what they call long-term breastfeeding. So I'm trying to breastfeed him until he's 2 because I breastfed my daughter until she was 2. And people would get really animated about this stuff. They'd say like, oh my God, you breastfed her until she was 2. Didn't she have teeth? Your child would play, yeah. And so it's every man you ever had to suck on your tits, Claire. I hope. Imagine that. Only dating toothless men on some kind of fucked up principle. Just lapping at your areolas like they're sipping soup. Just disgusting. Disgusting. It's gross. More fun facts about me. I'm from Essex, a really beautiful part of the world, on the border of East London and Essex. It's called Dagenham. Yeah. Local celebrities include the old Ford factory and the BNP. I'm also Dominican. Are there any Dominicans in? Any Dominicans who aren't related to me? And Dominica's not to be confused with the Dominican Republic because they're different places. No hablo español. Okay, but people don't know a lot about Dominica. They're kind of people underestimate Dominicans quite a lot, and you shouldn't, because I want to tell you a story about my nan. So my nan came to London in the 1960s. Tough time for black people. No blacks, no dogs, no Irish. You know, OG racism. Yeah. And she was a really lovely lady. She was really elegant, like always impeccably turned out, really polite, like the definition of a lady, right? So she was in the butcher's one day and she was queuing up, and then a white lady came in, cut in front of her. My nan tapped her on the shoulder and said, "Excuse me, there's a queue." She said, "I don't care, you can wait." Now my nan, being the lady that she was, tapped this woman on the shoulder and whispered in her ear, "Hey, bitch." This woman turned around aghast. My grandmother proceeded to bite that woman on the tit. Chef's kiss. Absolute chef's kiss. And I love telling that story because people think it's like a kind of a Michelle Obama thing, you know, like when they go low, you go high. No. Pauline Merrifield was a motherfucking savage. She said, when they go low, you go lower and you kneecap that bitch. I do love being Dominican as well. I love meeting Dominican men when I was dating, particularly because they remind me a lot of my dad. They're, you know, kind and funny and hard to find. But there is an element of danger being a Dominican woman seeking Dominican man, and that danger, ladies and gentlemen, is incest. Because in the Caribbean community, there's no such thing as a stranger, only a cousin you haven't met yet. Give you a perfect example of this. My parents. Yep, you're right not to laugh because it's not a joke. But it's okay, my parents are second cousins, which I'm told is the best kind of incest. Yeah. Because if you're wondering, you know, if you're ever, you know, at Christmas and you're looking at your cousin thinking, I could. If it's a second, you're safe. Because it's close enough that you kind of get good genetic traits, like you get good eyesight, and far enough away that you don't, like, develop a hunchback. No? So I was out a couple of years ago. I met this beautiful guy named Daniel. He looked like a kind of a cross between Anthony Jordan and kind of Anthony Jordan? Oh, Anthony Joshua and Michael B. Jordan. Maybe he was Anthony Jordan. No, he was basically gorgeous. Daniel, beautiful guy. And I really liked him. And I thought, oh my God, I really like this guy. Like, he's Dominican. I haven't got time to wait for blood test results. What the fuck am I going to do? So I did what any self-respecting woman would do in that situation, guys. I sucked his dick and sent him on his way. It's been so lovely, thanks.
As we bring up to the stage, Marcus Beebe!
Evening, I'm Marcus Beebe. So the more observant amongst you here tonight, you will already be able to tell I'm from one of potentially 40 different countries. Half British, half Malaysian. All right, no fans of Malaysia internet. Strange one, being Asian, you know, a number of times in my life people have tried to relate to me through my Asianness. A number of times in my life people have come up to me and said, "Hey, you Asian?" And I'll say, "Yes." Now, these people like to tell me they went to Asia on their gap year, and I know they do mean well, but heritage and a gap year are two very different things. For example, I don't go up to a homeless guy and say, hey, you homeless? And the homeless guy says, yeah. And I say, well, because I've been to Glastonbury. Yeah, slept in a sleeping bag and everything. So it's my mum that's Malaysian, but my dad, he is white, like really, really, really white. And when I think back to my childhood, when I was 5 and he was 50, good work, everyone. Yeah, my dad used to be in the RAF, the Royal Air Force, and that came in handy when I was a kid. You know, I used to spoon feed me as a child. He'd say, here comes the aeroplane. Then the PTSD would kick in. Flashbacks. Yeah, we always still hold hands in the shopping centre, but we had to stop all that when the pandemic started. Now, this was back in the 90s, you know, we're talking Britpop, New Labour, trust me, incredible time to be 6. And I was a bit of a geezer back then. You know, I used to drink on bongos by the pint. And in my manic sugared up state, I'd break free from my dad's hand, I'd try and run away, and I don't know if you've ever seen a white man chase a little Asian kid before. I mean, I've never seen it, but I have lived it. So my dad would catch me, he always catches me, and I'd scream up things like, you're not my dad. Who are you? Which between us guys were lies, but the people in the shopping centre were witnessing a full-blown abduction. Yeah, no one ever called the police, but I like to think there's a banker working in Canary Wharf, making a lot of money, living a really good life, but every once or twice a month gets triggered and thinks, fuck, was I complicit in child trafficking? Yeah, but it's all good now, you know, I'm all grown up these days. We walk together, I still don't look like father and son, but more like work colleagues with very similar teeth. So education was really important growing up, shocker. There was no pressure to become a doctor or a lawyer or a member of parliament, especially not a member of parliament. Because think about it, right? Have you ever seen a member of parliament that looks like this? Right, you can't be what you can't see, right? But I'm hoping the United Kingdom can be more progressive like in these other countries. Because I don't know if any of you knew this, but there's actually been 3 Asian presidents of North Korea. And I know some of you are thinking, oh, Marcus, what about the human rights record? It's about the journey, not the destination. So I've been getting into astrology recently, not the Western one, the Eastern one. I think it's a lot more direct. One woo, yes, we're in. I think it's more direct, right? Because you've got Year of the Dragon, Year of the Tiger, Year of the Ox, right? Pretty sexy stuff, right? Sexy stuff. Then you've got pig, rat, snake. So if you're single and looking for a red flag, it's coming right towards you. And me personally, I'm Year of the Monkey, and I think this checks out on every single level, right? Because some people see me, right? They see a fun, cheeky, chappy sort of guy, and other people see me and they're racist. Yeah, I'm probably the most racist person I know, actually. Yeah, I heard a gasp there. No, I love black people, I love white people, I love brown people, but if I ever see a guy that looks like me enter the friendship group, I just think, who the fuck is this guy? You know, I bring him to one side, I say, mate, come here. The friendship group is full. Go home. Yeah, my white liberal friends, they tell me, Marcus, stop being so aggressive. And I tell them to stop diversifying their portfolio. I'll be the first to admit it. The set so far, been pretty race heavy. Yeah. Comedian said to me recently, he said, you're so lucky that you can do all this race stuff, because I don't get to do all that. And I said, well, would you want to? Because you're a white guy. I don't think talking about being an Asian is going to help you at all. You know, audiences can't always smell the bullshit, but they can definitely see it. Yeah, been under a bit of pressure recently. I've turned 30, and I'm the first person in 4 generations not to have killed someone. And that is a lot to live up to. It's true. Like, my great-granddad was World War I. My granddad, World War II. My dad has a vibe. You've been brilliant. You've got a great show ahead. Thank you very much.
Oh my God, it's so nice to be here in this room full of white people. So much fun. I'm very happy to be here in this rainy fascist island. It's my favorite. It's so cute. I actually moved to this country specifically for the rain. And for old men to call me exotic in pubs. So it's going well. Thanks for asking. And they do like to let you know, they like to remind you in case you forget, in case you think that you're a person. You're not, you know. I remember the first time I was called Jackie Chan. I was 5 years old. And even then, I remember thinking, Jackie Chan, if you're gonna be racist, at least call me hot. Jackie Chan? I'm Lucy Liu. Thank you. Someone called me Mulan the other day, and I was like, I'll take it. Yeah, no, I'm happy to be here. I don't mind being called Oriental. I also like rugs. I get the vibe, you know. Mainly also because I actually have a little confession, you guys. I feel comfortable here, so I'll tell you. I actually think that old white men are exotic too. They're so cute, so kawaii, you know? I love the... I feel like you guys don't agree with me. Have you guys seen the ones with the big bellies? Makes them look pregnant. I love it. It makes me feel maternal. It's so cute. There's also the ones that like say things to you. They speak. So fun. I was at a pub the other day where old white men live. And it was one of those pubs that was called like the old hag's tits, you know? One of those. Or like the Prince of Pedophilia. That vibe. The Queen of Discharge, you know that vibe. Where they have like a flag out, and I wasn't sure if it was for like racism or for like football, but I don't want to participate in either. No, thank you. But I made eye contact with an old white man there, and he looked at me like he saw a Pokemon for the first time. Yeah, he wanted to catch me. And it was so cute how he like came up to me and like asked me if I wanted some company. No. My dad was nice to me. I don't want your company. Shoo! Go watch Millwall or something. I don't know. Is that what old white men do, sir? Yes? Okay. You're not old. How old are you? 33. He's old. Speaking of daddies, I did come back from visiting family over the summer. Not for a religious holiday, not for Easter, for Ramadan. Yeah, surprise, bitches! This hoe is Muslim. Yeah, I know I don't look Muslim. It's because I'm from Kazakhstan. Are we gonna pretend? Like you guys aren't just thinking about Borat right now? Huh? Just wondering why it's an ice. That horrible Borat impression is the reason why my ancestors are rolling around in their graves. Worse than when I fuck a white guy. Which is, unfortunately, quite often. They're just around! What am I supposed to do, not fuck them? That seems difficult. I don't want to do that. But Kazakhstan is a real place. It's one of those places that just kind of been colonized by everywhere, you know, by the Russians, by the Turks. So essentially, we're just kind of Muslims who drink vodka. You know, we're Muslim kind of in the same way that you lot are Christian in this country, which is just for like bank holiday. Right, casual, you know. But I thought I might as well try to be a better Muslim. I thought I'd participate in Ramadan. Has anyone here done Ramadan before? No? Thought so, a bunch of white people. Well, Ramadan is quite difficult. It's not just about fasting. It's a lot more than that. So it is quite difficult because I don't know if anyone has told you guys, but it's a whole ritual. It's not just like not eating. So the part that I found quite difficult was not wanking. Yeah, and also apparently it is cheating if you're breaking your fast with cum. But nobody told me that! Anyway, that's been my time. I've been Aisha Manduri. Thank you!
Everybody say, Jimmy Freeze!
What's up, babies? Woo! Who's that inside? Make some noise! Yeah! Here we go. No, guys, I know I sound a bit different. Number one, I'm not mentally well, but also I'm Portuguese. Do we like Portugal? Yeah? Yeah, I feel like British whites love Portugal. I feel like it's the best place you can go on holiday, right? If you're on a budget, yeah? Or if you want to lose your kids. We kind of took the bitch and it's on Netflix, a good one. Kidding. The parents did it. And No, we're silly. I'm actually doing great. I just graduated university recently. Do we like Dream Day? I got a first in digital media. Okay, and a master's in really good vibes. That's why I'm here. Okay, you know, yeah. No, but I'll be honest though, I am not very smart. Like, up until recently, I always assumed that Tories were the good ones. Okay, yeah, no, but put yourself in my shoes, yeah, I'm Portuguese. Whenever I heard the word Labour, it sounds like a lot of work. I don't want to do it, like, what? Okay, so no one else on Universal Credit here tonight. Thank you for paying your taxes, I like it. And, no, but guys, it's been great. Actually, when I graduated, I got to see my family. They flew over. And if you know anything about Portuguese people, you know that during those 3 days, 2,000 cigarettes were smoked, okay? And that's just my mom. This lady, I'll tell you, she's a 67-year-old doctor, smokes like a pirate, okay? Her spirit animal, Marlboro Lights. What can you do? We're having fun. And I realized, yeah, because I saw my parents over the holidays, and I realized, like, I'm not like other kids, because, you know, most kids, they fly home, their parents meet them at arrivals. I always have to go to the smoking area, and it's, oh. I know, I mean, it's not all bad news, though. Like, I actually flew home because my sister, she's pregnant, she's about to have a baby. Give it up for her. Come on. I mean, she smokes a lot, too. Let's see what happens, but, we moved. No, but it was cool. I love going to Portugal now because I do stand up there sometimes, but that means I have to take my family, which not so great. Like, I took my parents to a comedy show, and someone came up to me, and they were like, "Look, I have some advice for you, okay?" And I was like, "No." And he was like, "You should always start off your sets by mentioning how gay you look." Triggered? What? I was like, "Thanks, Dad." And I mean, the worst thing is, it was actually another comedian. I kind of get his point, though. I mean, I was sucking his dick, but still, that's kind of rude. That's homophobic. That's a lie. I made that whole thing up. I have issues, and it's what it is. You know, joke, punchline. You know, we try. And but that was great seeing them. I'm not like very like well, you know, like I'm Gen Z. I go to therapy. Does anyone else here go to therapy? Let me see. Okay, I would. You need more. Look at the state of this fucking place. But no, but I do go to therapy. I do BetterHelp. Yeah, I'm doing great. Life-changing advice from podcasts. Yeah. We love it. And you know what I mean? I feel like BetterHelp though is making me like too brave, too confident, because I did a show in Camden a couple days ago, and I booked a session 45 minutes before the show. And I was just like, I'll just go to Starbucks, you know what I mean? And I'll do it. What can go wrong? A lot. And anyway, I end up in Camden, and I'm in the queue. My therapist calls me, and you know, and all of a sudden I get the dreaded question, right? We all know it. Do you want vegan or do you want normal cream? And I was like, any cream, I'm healing, I don't know. You know what's not healing though? My stomach. 9/11 from the waist down, not good. Also an inside job, shout out. But I don't know, but you know what? I do love it here though. You know, we do have some differences, and I often wonder if, you know, because I'm from a different country, if animals are like us and they have nationalities as well. You know what I mean? I'm a thinker. I'm smart. Yeah. And do you guys think, like, for example, if pandas are Chinese, right? And lions are African. Are rats from Croydon? How does it work? What's the science? I don't know. David Attenborough. Yeah. Present. And you know what? Because I do have an accent, right? And a lot of people say that, you know, people with accents are harder to understand, but there's a lot of British white people here tonight. Let me just ask you this. How do you fuckers understand each other? No, you don't play so shy. Like, you travel 20 miles in any direction in this country. It's like you're in a new kingdom in Game of fucking Thrones, okay? And it's scary. It's not. There's no dragons eating my ass out here. No, it's a lot. And if you think like White Walkers, dragons, all of that was scary, and I'll leave you with this. You probably haven't been to a Primark in Liverpool on a Sunday. Because that's real scary. Follow me on Instagram, don't follow me home. And yeah, my name's Tommy Cruz. Bye!
Craig Smalls! Keep it there till he gets to the stage!
Yes, Comedy Virgins, we're out tonight! I am Craig Smalls. I'm actually a train driver. So, let's be honest, it's a fucking miracle I've even turned up tonight, isn't it? We are lazy bastards. It is what it is. When I was at school, I had this really nasty French teacher that used to pick on me all the time. Mr. Robert, I'll never forget his name, because I'd be sitting in class minding my own business, and he'd just walk in and start shouting at me. Craig, you're never going to get a job staring out the window all day. Fuck you, Mr. Robert. That is 80% of my job description. If you're wondering what the other 20% is, 10% sitting down and 10% going on strike. Sorry about that. I was driving a train last Saturday, and this drunk woman gets off, comes storming up the platform, starts shouting into the cab window. Is that you in there? Is that you in there? So I pulled the window down. I said, are you all right, love? She said, oh, you sound so much like a celebrity. I thought he was driving the train. Well, I'm from East London, right? So I'm thinking Danny Dyer, Ray Winston, at a push. No, Jay from the In-Betweeners. I didn't mention Clunge once in that train announcement. Fucking train wankers. Is there anyone in the audience that lives right next to a railway line? This is good. I can let you in on a little secret that they don't know. The people that live next to railway lines, train drivers, we can see in their windows. And we know where to look as well. We know where those good windows are. I want to paint a quick picture for you. I'm sat at a red signal just outside London, and about 20 yards away, even about where the CAV sign is. It's late at night, middle of the summer, windows are wide open, curtains are wide open, and there's a 65-inch widescreen telly shining a light down on what can only be described as two people fucking going for it. So I did what any self-respecting train driver would do in that situation. I turned my light off so they wouldn't see me watching. I don't want them thinking I'm a pervert, do I? I mean, I am, but... And then I waited for the optimum moment. We all know the optimum moment I'm talking about, don't we? The big O. And I blew my horn. I don't know if you've ever seen someone ejaculate and shit themselves at the same time. But it was the best orgasm he's ever had. And I know that because he's a fucking train spotter now. I've been driving trains for so long. This is quite train-related material. In case you hadn't realised. So if you're not enjoying it, fucking get on board, yeah? Hey. I've been driving trains for so long now, I can work out what drugs someone's taken by what train they're on. Give me a cheer if you've ever been on a last train home before. That's the Coke train. You know who you are. I didn't expect it to be you, madam, but there we go. First train in the morning, that's the MDMA train, isn't it? 5 in the morning, sunglasses on, jaw swinging about all over the gaff. And the commuter train, that's the antidepressant train, isn't it? Just a little bit real for some people. That joke. If you do ever find yourselves on a last train home, these new trains that we're driving at the moment, the CCTV cameras, they're HD. We can see everything you fuckers are getting up to. Caught a couple having sex the other week. Yeah, very much the working class Mile High Club, that, isn't it? Unless you're sitting in first class, and then it's posh dogging. I've got a fan of posh dogging in. Sitting in the front row, lovely. I'm going to finish off with some good news. Recently at work, I won an award. Cheers. I am in the top 1% of drivers nationwide that doesn't have diabetes. Thank you very much, everyone. You've been brilliant. Cheers.
Hey. I'm going to keep it real with you guys. I haven't been feeling as funny as usual lately. And I think it's because my life has just been going too well. You know, there's nothing funny about that. Like last week, me and my girlfriend were sharing a lovely afternoon together. That's the end of the story. That's it. There's nothing funny about that, you know? It sucks. I hate it. I've been trying to get my diet together lately because I'm lactose intolerant, but I love cheese. And it's a real problem. Being lactose intolerant but loving cheese sticks feels like being homophobic but loving dicks. Because I'm like, and then I throw up and hate myself. I'm not a smart man. Sometimes I think I'm smart, but then I remember I'm from the Caribbean and I can't spell Caribbean. I don't even know how to say it. Is it Caribbean or Caribbean? I don't know. No, I moved to the UK about 5 years ago, and my dad tried to warn me against it. And you know, there's some very valid reasons to advise your son against moving to England. There's a housing crisis, an economic crisis. But my dad's a conspiracy theorist. He was like, don't go to England. They test the vaccines on black people. I've been here for 5 years now, and not once has anyone tried to test the vaccine on me. It feels bad, you know, like, am I just not black enough? No, but I do think there's some real problems with living in the UK. It's a difficult country to be an immigrant in, you know, because generally speaking, people don't want to hear you complain about a country that you chose to move to, you know? They have this attitude like, well, why don't you just leave then? Go back to where you came from. And I don't think that's fair in England specifically. Because complaining about England is the most English thing you can do. When I talk shit about this country, it's just me making an effort to fit in. You know, sometimes I'll be having a good day, but I have to pretend I'm not. Just to blend in with the locals. I'll be walking along, smiling to myself, and then someone will ask me how it's going, and I gotta switch up real quick. Oh, me? Mate, I'm having a right mare. Always makes me laugh. In England, when you're having a bad day, you don't say you're having a nightmare. You say you're having a right mare. And that confused me. I thought you guys had some sort of Scooby-Doo speech impediment. Reggie, I'm having a right mare. I work at a school for kids with autism, and I was really surprised when I started the job, because most of the kids at the school are black. And you know, I kind of thought white people had the monopoly on autism. I've just never seen so many black people with autism in one place. I got there and I was like, oh shit. So this is where they tested the COVID vaccine. No, most of my job is just answering the kids' questions. But every now and then they hit me with something I just don't know how to respond to. You know, like I came back one day into the class and there was a kid masturbating in the middle of the classroom. I was like, Dexter, what are you doing, man? Because he was doing it wrong. He had an overhand grip. I said, Dexter, that's private. We do not touch ourselves in public. Why? And I didn't know what to tell him, so I just told him the truth. I'm like, we can't masturbate in public because society hates to see a black man be happy. Thank you, thank you.
Jacob Ryan birthday!
Yes! What's going on? Are we all okay? Are we doing okay? Yeah, Ted, I hate you. You're so fucking good looking, sat there, being all young with your teeth and your nice face and your hair. How old did you say you were? 23. Oh, fuck off, Ted. I would eat my cereal out of those dimples, you know. I am just not on board with it, Ted. Because look, right, and you were a Pilates teacher, yeah? Yeah? Okay, good. Oh. Oh. Anyway, don't worry about it, Ted, that's fine. It's all about me now. So what's been going? Because I'm not from here, right? I'm from the north of England, right? And I'm living the London dream now because I live in someone else's cupboard in East London. Yeah, I'm a soy boy, and it's good because what happened to me is basically I'm from like a rough place. Do you know when people say, oh, I grew up rough, I feel like when you grow up rough, you don't know any different, right? It's like I just assumed where I grew up, the bins were meant to be on fire. You know what I mean? I always just assumed that the milkman was meant to sell Viagra. That was just what I thought. And then I moved to London, right, and nothing ever happens where I'm from. Nothing ever happens. Like curly fries are still a novelty where I'm from, right? And then I moved to London where everything happens all the time, all at once. 24 hours into being here, I saw 2 nuns in a Pizza Hut. Just stood next to the salad bar being all holy. That was the best day of my entire life. I'd never seen a nun before. I'd never even seen a salad bar. So, you know, it's good. I like, because I live in East London, and East London is like super multicultural, right? It's very different to where I'm from, very multicultural. Every gender, creed, nationality, and sexuality have all come together in East London to have one big fight in a kebab shop. It's as close as you can get to social utopia with garlic mayonnaise, Ted. I don't know of a nicer place where you can get on the bus and be told to fuck off in 12 different languages, so... I was like, but I feel like everybody, because you're a Pilates teacher, right? I feel like I'm gonna keep on saying it until you get a proper job. I feel like, because we live by trends now, like we live by trends in London. This is the thing I can't get on board with. I get really nervous about things. Like we live by trends. Everybody looks at the phone and go, oh, this is what I'm meant to be doing. And like when I feel good about myself, when I feel happy with my life, right, every so often my phone will just randomly open on the front camera to remind me that from this angle I look like an old woman's fat knee, right? That's where I'm at. It'll open there. It'll be like, oh, there you go, Jake. Just to remind you, you don't have a neck, right? You're just nipples all the way to nose. That's what it is. That's why I have the moustache, to act as a reference point. Foodies, do you know this one? People who are like, oh, I'm a foodie, me. Oh, I love food. Couldn't live without food, me. Oh, how quirky about you that is, because personally I can take it or leave it, me. Sustenance. Oh. And then when I first moved to London, it was this thing which was food, street food, you know, all those street food where you go outside and you eat food, which was dead cool. But when you think about it for long enough, you realise that street food is basically just eating fish in a car park, isn't it? That's what it is. That is buying a sausage off a man who sleeps in a van. That's what that is. I've never in my entire life been sat in a restaurant and been like, do you know what this lasagna needs? Do you know what this lasagna needs? More wind. That's what that needs. And then there's the other ones, which is like alternative healthcare. Do you know this one? Alternative healthcare, where people like lick fucking stones instead of paracetamol or something like that. Personally, I think it's good form not to take medical advice off the kind of person who would wear a toe ring. Because like, look, no disrespect, right? But I feel like if don't worry about that. I've panicked now because of what's just happened there. But the worst one for me is, do you all know, have you ever met anybody who rock climbs for a hobby? Oh my goodness me, because they're the worst people in the world, aren't they? They're so absolutely unbelievably boring. I met someone at a house party recently who rock climbed for a hobby, and his name was Cliff, right? And the red flag about Cliff was he didn't think that was funny, right? He was talking to me about, do you know those shoes, the toe shoes? Do you know those shoes with the toes in them? Do you know them? Oh, he's telling me about those. Up until that point, I never felt as a person you could feel sympathy for an avalanche, right? But this was me and Cliff, and I feel like as a society we should probably do something about those toe shoes, because I'm not saying it is, but it has to at least be adjacent to paedophilia, doesn't it? Good, you're all wonderful. I'm Jake O'Brien Murphy. Thank you so much.
Bring up to the stage, Joy Hunter!
Before we continue the comedy, I'd like to issue a public warning to any future parents out there. Anyone getting up the duff anytime soon? Don't name your children after abstract emotions when you have no idea, Stockwell, what their future temperament may come to be. My name's Joy. Joy Hunter
and I've got depression. So, what do we do with that? Yeah, we like, laugh at the girl with depression. That was dark. I wasn't planning on saying that. Just a crazy thing to say. But I like to clarify my name up top because I know people mix me up with someone quite a lot. They think I'm famous. They think they've seen me before. Well, I'll put you out of your misery. Okay, so just remember like a few months ago when those videos went super viral of like young Liz Truss. It's been the worst year of my life. What do I do with that? I can't get a new phase. Like, this is just my phase. It's terrible. But there is one silver lining, which is that, like, at least, like, I mean, like, in Liz Truss's, like, short and sweet prime ministership, right? At least there's not been any long-term negative consequences for anyone else in the country. Like, I'm really bearing that burden alone, guys. And you're welcome. Only joking, everything is obviously fucked forever. Which is cool, like, it's cool that everything's bad now. And I've actually been thinking about that quite a lot, which is really, like, great for me. I've been thinking that, like, I used to think that, like, humanity was sort of, like, trotting along on this sort of, like, slow march of progress. And I don't think that anymore. I think maybe we shouldn't have bothered ever evolving. And I've actually written a sort of poetry performance piece about that. Because if there's one thing I know about comedy audiences, it's that they just wish they were watching spoken word instead. So guys, don't worry. I'm going to put you out of your misery. I know, you just wish I wish I was having less fun and it was a more highbrow evening. I know. This one about how we should have just stayed in the sea. Coming out of the sea, and I've been doing just fine. Gotta evolve so I can live on land. Started out as a fish. How did I end up like this? I was only a fish. And now my fins are like legs, and I'm learning to stand, and I'm losing my tail, and I'm walking on land, and I'm making stone tools, and now I am a chimp. When did my brain get so big? When did my brain get so big? Now I'm still just a chimp now, so why do I have to work in an office? Evolutionary biology has failed me. I should have stayed a fish with gills, but I'm just a chimp with bills and bills and bills. It's political comedy, guys. And rent to pay, being Homo sapien today. Oh God, where did it all go wrong? Human devolution song. So that's that. Guys, I love the applause, but there isn't time. I'm going to get taken off. I've actually got one more song for you because I know that people just love to hear more of my voice once they've heard it once. So this one goes like this, okay? Last Christmas... I'm just singing that for the rest of the set. Can you imagine? Like, that would be mental. Like, that would be mental. Last Christmas, I tweeted a tweet about how I don't really like the song Last Christmas, and I think George Michael's kind of overrated as an artist. And the very next day, he was pronounced dead. This year, to save me from tears, I've deleted all my social media. What if, just before he died, George Michael went online and saw the tweet that was mine? Is that what he had in his head when he was on his deathbed? Do, do. Do, 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 do. Everybody. Did I kill you, George? Did I kill you, George? 1 minute you're here, and the next minute, wham. Thanks very much. I've been Joy Hunter.
And we bring up to the stage, James Townsend!
Don't be alarmed. I've not walked into the wrong meeting. I'm aware I look like an accountant for the English Defence League. I bought round glasses to try and soften my image a little bit, made me look a bit more like Harry Potter. Now I just look like he's done 4 years in Azkaban. For muggle smuggling. And Harry Potter annoys me in general. Like, I just don't think it's very realistic, you know? Like, I need these to see. And are you telling me you can grow an arm back overnight, but you can't fix astigmatism? Well, for dragons, just make it make sense, for Christ's sake. I'm from South London. I'm from a place called Kidbrooke. If you don't know Kidbrooke, it's equidistant between Blackheath and Lewisham. Blackheath's the sort of place if you were to get mugged, you'd probably get a receipt. Lewisham's more the place you could get mugged for a receipt. And Lewisham's a weird place. There used to be a restaurant in Lewisham called The Taste of Lewisham. Think about that, yeah? I imagine it's just like a sort of dry old sandal. Like a dollop of gravy on it. Some cigarette ash. And then served in one of those market bags, you know, the blue and pink ones you get. So, I'm 33, I'm 34 actually, which means I've just beat Jesus, which is nice. My dad's all right. Being a stand-up, you get used to heckling, and but you can't help but get annoyed with it. And I'd quite like to go back in time and meet Jesus and heckle him just to see what his limit is, you know? Imagine that. And behold, the kingdom of heaven is within your mum! Have that! So I'm actually much worse than a racist accountant. I'm a recruiter. Yeah, I know, even traffic wardens hate us. Well, that's not actually strictly true. I was a recruiter until very, very recently, and I left. I've had to leave the job because of a misunderstanding. You all seem like quite social people, so I'm going to run this by you and see if this was a suitable reason to have to leave a job. Have we all been in a situation where we go out after work and have a couple of beers, have a couple of drinks? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool. So we've all been there. So just put yourself in my shoes. Is what I'm saying. Right. Okay. Say you're sitting in the pub, yeah, and someone walks in. They look like, I don't know, Noel Edmonds. Yeah. Noel Edmonds. Right. Walks in and you go, a bloke really looks like Noel Edmonds. And your mate starts laughing, don't they? They start laughing. She's laughing. She's loving it. Look. And then she's laughing. We've all been there. And you get your phone out, don't you? And you get a picture of Noel Edmonds up, and you go, Noel Edmonds, and everyone starts laughing. They're all laughing. Everyone's laughing. Look at him, he's laughing. You're laughing. We've all been there. So you go up to the manager, don't you? Go up to the manager and you go, excuse me, have you got a printer upstairs? They go, yeah, what's that? You go, well, that bloke really looks like Noel Edmonds, so I'm going to print a picture of his face out and take it over to him. They go, well, yeah, that's a great idea. That's brilliant. So you print it up and you go up to him and you go, you really look like Noel Edmonds. He goes, yeah, I get that a lot. And then he starts laughing. They all start laughing because we've all been there and everyone's laughing in the pub. So, next day you go into work and you change everyone's background to Noel Edmonds, don't you, ladies and gentlemen? Change everyone's background to Noel Edmonds and everyone starts laughing. Everyone in the office is laughing. They're all laughing. Look at him, he's laughing. Well, he will do. And off they go and they're all laughing. Your team leader comes up. She goes, why is everyone's background Noel Edmonds? You go, well, last night I was in the Two Doves. I saw this bloke who really looked like Noel Edmonds. I thought he'd let you in on the joke. They go, oh, yeah, all right, that is actually really funny. Yeah. So you buy a life-size cardboard cutout of Noel Edmonds, don't you, ladies and gentlemen? You put it in the foyer of the office and everyone's walking in. And the managing director goes, why is Noel Edmonds there? You go, well, a couple of weeks ago, we were in the Two Doves. You saw this bloke. He really looked like Noel Edmonds. Thought we'd let you in on the joke a little bit. And she goes, yeah, that's really funny. That makes loads and loads of sense. So the next thing you know, Christmas do rolls around. You hire Noel Edmonds, don't you, ladies and gentlemen? You hire Noel Edmonds. And he's walking around, he's shaking everyone's hand. He's like, nice to meet you, nice to meet you. And you introduce him to the Ruxley branch and he's doing shots with the Ruxley branch. They go, why is he here? Why is Noel Edmonds here? You go, well, a couple of months ago, we were in the Two Doves. We saw this bloke. He really looked like Noel Edmonds. Hello. And before you let you on joking, they're all laughing. Everyone's laughing. You've been there. She's laughing. We've all been there. We've all been there. We all understand it. So next thing you know, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. You turn up at your boss's door, don't you, ladies and gentlemen? Your CEO's door. Hi. He opens the door and he goes, what are you doing here? You go, well, a couple of months ago, we were in Two Doves. Saw a bloke who really looked like Noel Edmonds. So I bought you a 6-foot picture of his face. Isn't it funny? And his wife starts screaming. They're screaming. She's laughing. And he slams the door shut and he goes, get off my property. So you start stapling the pictures to the front door, don't you, ladies and gentlemen? We've all been there. You're stapling, you're laughing. You're stapling, you're laughing. You're stapling, you're laughing. And then the blue lights turn up. And they go, what are you doing? You would go, "Oh, a couple of months ago, I was in the Two Doves. I saw a bloke who really looked like Noel Edmonds. So I'm stapling a 6-foot picture of his face to the front door. Isn't it funny?" And they go, "You're fucking nicked, mate." And that's why I had to get a new job. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
People say ignorance is bliss, which I never really understood. But I'm alright with it. I went to a strip club last week, and all the strippers were on Zoom. Apparently, since COVID, a lot of them twerk from home. I gave all my sock puppets to my nephew for Christmas, and seeing how happy he is playing with them, it's nice to look and think, I had a hand in that. I'll never forget the day the doctor told me he had amnesia. He said, "Charlie," he said, what did he say? He said, "You got to have brain surgery," which I wasn't too keen on. He said, "You got to have an open mind." So, my granddad lost his tongue during the war, and you could tell it really affected him because he never really spoke about it. The big sea got granddad in the end, which was sad, but I told him you can't swim the Atlantic, so. Grandma passed away shortly after, which was really sad. She had a heart of gold, bless her. But in hindsight, it was probably a mistake getting the gold heart fitted. I got a new girlfriend recently. She left me. Yeah, I should have seen signs, really, all the usual signs, you know. Didn't want to come out with him without me. Didn't want to come out with me anymore. Didn't want to have sex, and started buying me harder and harder escape rooms. So I started looking for a new job. Got fired from my old job for working too hard. Because apparently when you're a train driver, it's not appropriate to go the extra mile. I tried being a carpenter, and I made a fence entirely out of thumbtacks. Because I heard that attack was the best form of defence. I applied to be a mystery shopper for duvets. It sounded really exciting, because apparently you spend a lot of time undercover. I had to close the power button for short people. I think I set the bar too high on that one. But my career really started to take off when I got a butler. He's really opened so many doors for me.